Welcome back to all. I'm going to discuss with you Akamadevi University, fourth semester, optional paper. One of the poem that is Ozymandias, written by P.B. Shelley. This is one of the fantastic poem. This poem was published in 1817, written by 1817, published in 1818 in the Examiner. Look at the picture. Some of the Ozymandias statues are there, but now it is broken, fall on the land. Here P.B. Shelley is discuss some of the things. Now I am going to read the poem. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert near them. On the sand, half sunk, a shuttered visage lies. Those frown and wrinkled lip, the sneer of the cold command that all its sculpture well those passions read which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the land that mocked them, the heart that fed, and on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, kings of kings. Look on my works, a mighty and despair. Nothing beside remains round the decay of the colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away. Here of that, this is one of the poem P.B. Shelley's. And this poem, this is a the poem is a sonnet based on Greek history. The poem deals with the fatality of power. In the ancient Egypt, there was an autocratic king who was proud to his absolute power, but with the passage of this glory and power proud fatal and discuss on critical appreciation of Rhasamandas. This poem differs from the other sonnets in its rhyme scheme. Has an unusual rhyme scheme: AB, ABA, CDC, EDE, FEF. It is neither a patriarchal or Spenserian sonnet. It is not a Shakespearean sonnet as well. It seems that the poet has intentionally used a complex rhyme scheme to match the hard reality of power and its fatality. The poem is a short lyric of 14 lines. It is composed in the form of a sonnet. However, unlike a sonnet, it has 13 narrators. Three narrators are there that are like the speaker, means P.B. Shelley, traveler, and the king. The observation of these narrators have been accumulated to the sonnet form. In the octave or first 8 lines, the speaker introduces the traveler who narrate the broken the statue. It is surrounding and the impression reflected on the shattered face of it. In the sextet, or the last 6 lines, the traveler quotes the inscription on the pedestal. The inscription says that the statue is the Rhasimandas, who was the king of the kings. He was more powerful than the other kings were, and so he was proud of his power. But the passage of the time, this symbol of autocratic authority turned into the huge heap of vain, lying futility in a lonely vast desert. In this part ends with a comment on the meaninglessness of human power. The Octava thus introduces the subject that suspects thus conclude that it is a reflection on the theme, the fertility of human power on earth. The sonnet suggests Shelley's dislike for autocratic rule. Shelley revolted against the all conversion values, corruption of the kings and priests. Though Shelley does not say anything directly here against the king, he desists for a power mongers is obviously been suggested in it. However, the poem deals with the universal truth about the fatality of human vanity that causes pity in the readers. Therefore, it was a melancholic tune. Thank you for watching this video.